Hi, welcome to our channel Programming of Mind, where we accelerate your knowledge with concise, from high-value book summaries. Let's begin overcoming the resistance to become a linchpin. Every journey toward becoming a linchpin involves facing significant internal and external resistance. Resistance is the force that holds us back, keeping us from achieving greatness and standing out in our careers, relationships, and personal endeavors. It's a powerful force that arises in many forms: fear, doubt, procrastination, and self-criticism. To become a linchpin, you must learn how to recognize, confront, and overcome resistance. Only then can you unlock your full potential and contribute in ways that make you irreplaceable. Consider the story of Andrew, a skilled writer with a passion for storytelling. Andrew had dreamed of writing a novel for years, but he always found himself procrastinating. Every time he sat down to write, a voice inside his head told him that he wasn't good enough, that he didn't have the talent to write a book that people would want to read. He was terrified of failure and rejection. As a result, he put off writing for months, then years, convincing himself that he would never be able to finish his novel. One day, Andrew decided to face the resistance head-on. He acknowledged that the fear and self-doubt he felt were normal parts of the creative process, but that they didn't have to control him. Andrew set aside time each day to write, even if it was only for an hour. He stopped waiting for the perfect moment and began writing through the discomfort and resistance. Over time, Andrew made significant progress on his novel, and eventually, he completed it. The novel was well received, and Andrew realized that the only thing holding him back all those years was his fear of resistance. Once he chose to push through it, everything changed. Andrew's story shows that resistance is a universal experience, and it's something every linchpin must face. The key is not to let resistance stop you, but to learn how to move through it. Overcoming resistance is a critical part of becoming irreplaceable in any field. The forms of resistance and how to overcome them. Resistance shows up in many forms, and it often takes the shape of inner doubts, distractions, and external pressures. However, once you identify the different forms of resistance, you can learn how to overcome them and continue moving forward on your path toward becoming a linchpin. Fear of failure. Fear of failure is one of the most common forms of resistance. It stops many talented individuals from taking risks and stepping outside their comfort zones. The fear of failing at something important can paralyze you and keep you from taking action. Take the case of Olivia, a young entrepreneur who wanted to start her own online business. Olivia had a great idea, but she was terrified of failure. She feared that her business wouldn't succeed, that people wouldn't buy her products, and that she would lose all her money. For months, Olivia did nothing but think about starting her business. She did market research, read articles, and asked for advice, but she never actually took the first step. One day, Olivia had a breakthrough. She realized that the fear of failure was keeping her stuck. Instead of letting fear control her, Olivia decided to take a small step forward. She created a website, launched a simple product, and put herself out there. To her surprise, the feedback she received was positive, and sales started to grow. Olivia realized that failure wasn't the end. It was just part of the learning process. By overcoming her fear of failure, Olivia was able to move forward and become a linchpin in her business. Overcoming the fear of failure requires taking action in spite of the fear. Understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey toward success. Every successful person has failed along the way, but they didn't let failure stop them. They used it as a stepping stone to improvement. Perfectionism. Another form of resistance is perfectionism. Perfectionists are often paralyzed by the desire to get everything exactly right. They delay taking action because they fear that their work will never meet their high standards. This can lead to endless revisions, procrastination, and a lack of progress. Mark, a graphic designer, was a classic perfectionist. He would spend hours on each project, obsessing over every detail, trying to make it flawless. As a result, Mark often missed deadlines, and his workload piled up. He was stuck in a cycle of endless revisions and self-criticism. One day, Mark realized that perfectionism was holding him back. He understood that his desire for perfection was preventing him from producing the work he was capable of. Mark decided to set time limits for each project and embrace the idea that done is better than perfect. He began completing projects on time, even if they weren't perfect. His clients appreciated his efficiency and the quality of his work, and Mark felt a sense of freedom from his perfectionist tendencies. To overcome perfectionism, you must learn to embrace imperfection. Accept that not everything will be flawless, but that does not diminish the value of your work. Focus on progress, not perfection. Strive to do your best, but don't get paralyzed by the need to make everything perfect. Perfection is an illusion. It's the work you complete and share that truly matters. Self-doubt. Self-doubt is another powerful form of resistance. It's the voice in your head that tells you that you're not good enough, that you're not capable, or that you don't deserve success. Self-doubt can be debilitating, making you second-guess your abilities and preventing you from taking risks. Sarah, a sales manager at a tech company, struggled with self-doubt. Even though she had achieved great success in her role, she often felt like a fraud. She worried that she would eventually be exposed as someone who wasn't truly capable of leading her team. Sarah's self-doubt made her hesitant to take on new challenges or pursue new opportunities. Eventually, Sarah realized that self-doubt was a natural part of growth and success. Instead of letting it control her, she learned to acknowledge it and keep moving forward. She stopped comparing herself to others and started focusing on her own progress. Sarah built her confidence by taking small risks and celebrating each success along the way. As she grew more comfortable with her abilities, her self-doubt diminished. To overcome self-doubt, you must trust in your abilities and stop seeking external validation. Everyone experiences doubt, but it's how you respond to it that makes the difference. Acknowledge the doubt, but don't let it stop you from taking action. Remember that you are capable and you have the skills and strengths necessary to succeed. The role of persistence in overcoming resistance. The key to overcoming resistance is persistence. Resistance will always be there. It's an inevitable part of the journey. But persistence is what allows you to push through it. The linchpin doesn't give up when faced with resistance. They embrace it and keep moving forward. Persistence is what turns obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into lessons. John, a small business owner, encountered resistance in many forms throughout his career. Early on, he faced financial difficulties, slow customer growth, and many sleepless nights. But instead of giving up, John persisted. He learned from his mistakes, made adjustments to his business model, and kept working hard. His persistence paid off, and over time his business grew. John's success wasn't due to luck or talent alone. It was his persistence in the face of resistance that made him a linchpin. Persistence is not about working harder. It's about working smarter and staying focused on your goals. When you face resistance, don't be discouraged. Keep moving forward, even when the path seems unclear. Over time, your persistence will lead to breakthroughs, and you will become indispensable. Conclusion: embrace resistance as a catalyst for growth. Resistance is not something to avoid, it's something to embrace. It's a signal that you're on the verge of growth, that you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. To become a linchpin, you must learn to overcome the various forms of resistance you will encounter along the way. By embracing failure, letting go of perfectionism, trusting in yourself, and staying persistent, you will unlock your full potential. Resistance is not the enemy. It's the catalyst for greatness. Thank you for listening, and please like the video and subscribe for more great upcoming content that will put you in top 1% people in the world.